Hey there. Welcome back to MoonTown Offline.
Hi, welcome back.
Ah,
I'm laying down. Aren't I? Beautiful.
that's all right. Welcome back to MoonTown
I got
Offline.
a big food.
I can see that. It's number 14 today. MoonTown
Can't
Offline.
get rid of it.
It's very predominant, I must say. We out here still?
Number 14.
Yeah. It's July 17th today, 2020, 5:06 p.m. And cup. I have the cup. I got that fan I used last time, just in case. Yeah, I'm all good supplies wise, I suppose. We just still been kicking it. It's, I guess, officially now the 4 month into quarantine stuff. Yeah, it's been,
Welcome to quarantine culture, ladies and gentlemen.
yeah,
Still happening.
we've certainly been trucking. It's a third of this year that quarantine has gone on. You'd think by now most people would be healthy, but some people are idiots.
But you'd be wrong.
Sorry for all y'all that live in Florida with the highest case of cooties. Just, I mean, I want to say I'm not surprised, but I also don't want to offend any Florida people watching this. It's like, yeah, opening back Walt Disney World at this time, it's kind of dumb, but also it's like more than 10,000 jobs that need to be filled up.
Yeah.
A little from column A, a little from column B, that sort of thing. Shoot, misplaced the take on the chair. Then I forgot what the use for it was. Oh. So hey, we back here, and this is, I guess, part 3 of our little team making excursion. So, 2 episodes ago, we created a team for, it was DC, right? Yeah, we created our own personal Justice League team ups that were completely original and were set on a certain number of archetypes that could be found through a Geek History lesson. The link for their channel will also be on the bio, or like at least the link to the playlist of Geek History lesson. I'm unsure still if it's just the whole channel or it's just meant to be the podcast. And then last time we did the same thing, but for an Avengers team. Also, for each episode, each team, we created our own stories of either how their team was made or what their team got into. So now we're doing the same thing one last time, except it will be both. Today's episode is going to be an interesting one, to say the least. This will be our Justice League teams and our Avengers teams coming together into a multi-dimensional super story. And we're just going to give quick pitches and whatnot. I was a little confused. We're still sticking with the archetypes for this team, even though,
Like, kind of?
all right, because I labeled people as like leader, muscle, strategist, tech, and all
Me,
that.
me too, although I wasn't hard-pressed to include ones that were in both because there was no magic in Justice League and there was no alien in Avengers and there was no strategist in Avengers. So, like, if the person fit the role, I put it in, but it was more so like just me going, okay, I have these characters that fit these archetypes and I want a smaller cast maybe, and so I'll just put them here, and then, yeah. I have a lot to go through, so
All right, then.
I'll try to keep it expedient. First, let me ask you guys. So, guys, today's episode is less. I was looking at my phone because even now I'm still coming up with ideas and stuff. So much I need to consider. So, oh, that'd be cool too. No, I can't. Okay. so many things. I think you can tell how much Marvel and DC crossovers excites me, and I have before wanted to be like I want to be like personally, like when I was super into comic books, and I still am, and I eventually do want to write specifically for Batman one day, maybe even Superman. Will I write for Marvel too? Of course, money.
Those are certainly the big two that a lot of people want to grab onto.
Right? So it's going to take me so hard to get up there. I have a pitch, like I said before, for like a DC Comics version of Exiles, and I've written out the first issue. Like I have a script of it. I'll show it to you one time, or we can actually read it maybe together.
Yeah, I certainly have a lot of Marvel ideas too.
Yeah, we're both nerds, and so what excites me is them crossing over. Like when I found out they had crossed over not once but twice. Well, more than twice, but like twice in big events. Like there was a sequel. Like, dude, my mind was blown. Now,
It had to happen
like
sometime.
it had to happen. Like, dude. Like it started off with Superman and Spider-Man, and then Batman and Spider-Man is good. Carnage and Joker, like, dude, like, yes, like those are exactly what you thought of, like when you think of these things. And then the amalgam. I have an amalgam book. I forget which one it is, and I don't know where it is. I think it's in that pile. You can't see it, but there's a pile. I think it's in there. Anyways, so Owen, let me describe to you my concept because last time it was easy to say like, oh, we'll each read one member off at a time or blah blah blah. So I have 3 teams. A bigger one, a slightly smaller one by 2 members, and then a smaller one by that one by 1 member. Um, the last one carries the least amount of story weight. The main one is the 2 teams, the team of 8 and the team of 6.
So you got like
And I have a broad story concept to go with both, and then I have also how it will affect the like other series coming into play. And I have quote unquote like books that can come out after the event that would be really cool and fun. But yeah, so that's my concept broadly, generally, to not get into it. What's your concept broadly and generally?
I mean, it's pretty straightforward,
Straightforward.
I suppose. Yeah, wormholes and all that pour out. People start meeting each other, and then all of a sudden, you got a Marvel threat that's really big and after something, and you got a DC threat that's super big and after something, and you got to stop them from colliding.
So you have how many teams? Did you like? How many teams do you have? Like one merged one or 2 merged ones?
I just have one merged one, and it's 10 members with
Okay.
with how many with 2 or 3 new additions that weren't on either of my teams, just to spice things up a bit.
Ooh, I wanted to do that, but I didn't. Technically, I'll explain it. I don't know, like it would literally be like a last issue thing, so I can just say that instead of having it marked. So here's this. You go through. Do you want us to just do like your pitch and then my pitch, or my pitch and then your pitch?
Uh, yeah, we could probably just go through my pitch first, I suppose, because I got a weird feeling that the bulk of this episode is going to be your pitch. So,
Kinda. I mean, it's a lot. It was a lot to think about. Might not be as much to explain.
all right.
I just have more teams, which took me a long time to decipher who was on what.
Yeah, yeah. All right, let's go through this real quick, I suppose. I'm just going to go through the team real quick. Not going to give much explanation to a lot of it. So, uh, for the combo of my team, I should also point out, for those of you who missed it, my Justice League team up and all that, it takes place in the DC animated universe. So, like Justice League Unlimited, Batman TAS, Batman Beyond, it all takes place in that little section. But Marvel is just like either straight up Marvel or another Earth. I don't know. So the leader of this team would probably be Captain America, and the strategist would be Nightwing. During all this, Nightwing can see Captain
How
as
about you refresh us on your teams?
all right. Let me open a few Google Docs pages to open
Sorry
it
about
up.
that.
It's all right. It's all right. It won't be a second. There we go. So my Justice League team. Last time on MoonTown Offline, my Justice League team in the DCAU at this point. It first started off as the leader being John Stewart, the Green Lantern, second in command being Wally West, the Flash, and then I also had Nightwing, Captain Marvel, Green Arrow, Black Canary, Mr. Miracle, Big Barda, Wanna Beast, and Firestorm being a mix of Jason Rush and Ronnie Raymond. And they went through this whole Siege of Starro storyline where the new Justice League ended up being the seven of Nightwing is the leader, then Green Arrow, Captain Marvel, Black Canary, Firestorm, and then Booster Gold added on. So that's my 7 JL team as of right now. And for my Marvel story, which was a giant war between Wakanda, Adelant, and Atlantis, we had leader and the funder was Black Panther. The second in command was Captain America. And we also had Beta Ray Bill. Shout out to Beta Ray Bill. Vision, Scarlet Witch, Brother Voodoo, Triton, Human Torch, Wasp, and She-Hulk. They went through the whole thing and they eventually stopped Doctor Doom somehow and somewhat. And now we are here at the Marvel DC BAM team up that we got going on here. So running through this fairly quickly, I already stated Captain America and Nightwing would be respectively the leader and strategist in command. Nightwing would kind of see Cap as almost like a Superman Batman mix, a little more towards Superman, just because he's like hopeful and optimistic, but there's also a sense of realism and sort of realistic issues that go in with Captain America. The muscle for this team would be Captain Marvel, and the magic would be Scarlet Witch. And then we also have members like Booster Gold, Beta Ray Bill, and Wally West Flash coming in as extras. And then the 3 that I put on as an extra, they haven't not on either of these teams. My tech would be Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards. He's back from his stuff, and he's got some stake in here. My outsider would be Spider-Man 2099. He'd come in Miguel O'Hara from an alternate universe and also alternate future, where he's like, oh, hey, I'm a scientist. And hey, this guy Spider-Man from the past was cool. I'm going to do this. And like, this is giving himself a spider bite. He didn't do it himself. He gets like a spider and whatnot. I don't know. No, I haven't read a lot of Miguel O'Hara, but he's cool. Shut up. He's cool. And then
he's Spider-Man Beyond. He's cool.
Yeah. And I'm thinking about it. I might throw in Terry McGinnis as well, just to have them interact, but I'm not sure.
After my own heart.
Yeah. As it stands, my last one is my rookie/wild card. I wanted to kind of take a page from your book, and I wanted to find somebody that wasn't particularly DC, but still could have comics that are like part of properties, like properties owned by DC, that they can make comics.
Wait.
Of. You know what I mean?
Is it Space Ghost?
Mm-mm.
Okay, never mind.
It's a bit cooler than Space Ghost.
Can it be a bit cooler than Space Ghost? Space Ghost is pretty cool.
Because I was looking through the properties that DC could make comics out of, and I stumbled upon a little thing called Evil Dead. And I thought, oh yes, my rookie and wild card should be Ash Williams. Bruce Campbell with the chainsaw hand and the shotgun himself. He has to be on this team.
Oh my god.
I managed to fit his stuff into the story just so he can be in it. But I need these guys to be like, all right, we're all like traditional superheroes and stuff, and we're going out to do this. And then Ash just comes out of nowhere. He doesn't need a team. He doesn't care for any of these guys. He just wants to do his stuff and go home to the hardware store he works at. So he's like, yeah, groovy, let's get on it. So that's just my team in a nutshell. So story wise, we pick up at, I suppose, different spots. We start off in DC land, let's call it. There's a bit of a cleanup from the Starro invasion that's still kind of going on, and this new team of Justice Leaguers are figuring themselves out, how they work, what kind of tactics they can use, and just like handling basic stuff. People are like, "Oh, you look bad. You're probably like have Starro mind control and stuff." And they got to step in like, "No, that's like allegory for racism. You can't just assume something like that." And then as Flash is going around and moving, he gets a visit from Max Mercury, who is I suppose like low B, high C tier speedster, Max Mercury kind of hangs out in the Speed Force a lot. He interacts with Bart Allen mostly, but it comes to Wally, he's like, "Hey man, there's like stuff about to happen, and you need to be ready." And sooner or later, the new Justice League is met with a mysterious man, calling himself Doctor Strange. This Doctor Strange tells them that monsters from his multiverse will soon start opening up into them, and they're like, that's baloney. But then portals start opening up, and yeah, and then just for fun, we're just gonna make it Annihilus that's like heading this, like his negative zone baddies going in. It's like Annihilus is cool, you know. And then all over you'll just have like singular issues of somebody meeting somebody, just to kind of expand everything. But this is sort of the main thing. At the same time, in the Marvel universe, it's been a couple months since the three-way war. Doctor Doom has disappeared from his prison, like just completely vanished, and they're still kind of going over small negotiations between the three countries, because while a lot of it was choreographed by Doctor Doom and Maximus the Mad, there were a few things that were like, all right, that's a little itchy there. So they're figuring that stuff out. As they do, Wakanda detects a small moon that's coming at them. They're like, oh, we got to get prepared. And the moon gets bigger and bigger. And then you see War World just pop out of nowhere. And Mongol just starts berating Wakanda with lasers and guns and stuff. Because, I don't know, reasons. So Spider-Man 2099 portals in, and he's like, hey, my timeline is gone. I think it has something to do with you guys and whatever you're going to do. So I'd rather that not be gone. You know what I mean? Eventually, this is a very abstract story pitch. Eventually, both teams meet up. They decide, hey, we got to stop some stuff. So this small group of combined Marvel and DC, along with Mr. Fantastic and Spider-Man 2099, start hopping around worlds to see what the heck's going on. And then we got our villains, and we learned their plot. So Doctor Doom has secretly been in contact with Lex Luthor. They both kind of made interdimensional communications at the same time, and are like, hey, you're totally on my level, and we're like evil and stuff. Let's wreck it,
Ooh, wait. How did Lex Luthor try to actually be like the dominating force behind all of it and get Doctor Doom to do what he wants? Because Lex Luthor I love Doctor Doom. I feel like Lex Luthor slightly smarter, just a tad.
Well, here's the thing. In the DCAU, at its continuity, the last time we ever see Lex Luthor is like it's when Darkseid is doing his final attack and during Justice League Unlimited's finale.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Lex is like,
Superman punches him.
yeah, Lex is like, hey, I jumped through a 12th level intellect bridge, and like now I'm basically kind of a new god, and I'm gonna show Darkseid the anti-life equation, and we're both just gonna disappear. You see, what happened is that Lex used that anti-life equation to merge himself with Darkseid, similar to how he did with Brainiac, but Brainiac's not here. So Lex is able to merge with Darkseid, and they just become one. And he's like, all right, I'm going to need some more power and stuff so that this multiverse can be mine. So I'm going to try to use anti-life equation and blah, blah, blah. Science, 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 you know. Comics, comics, comics. To merge with the Spectre. Because I know that he is a very big celestial thing. And I know he can lead me to an even greater power. But I got to do it secretly and whatnot. So on the other side of this telephone, Doctor Doom. So there's a concept that.
Well, yeah, actually, you know what can help you out is that God, as in the Judeo-Christian God, exists in both Marvel and DC. The Fantastic Four met God, and I think he looked a lot like Jack Kirby. And the Spectre literally is like essentially the Spectre is to God what Silver Surfer is to Galactus. So like your thing can make sense because like if the Spectre can God can break any multiverse, so the Spectre can easily just be like, what, Marvel? Woo?
Exactly. Now on the Marvel side, there's a concept used in a good number of Fantastic Four stories known as the Council of Reed. In which,
Oh yeah. Isn't that what the Council of Rick is based on?
yeah, it is. Basically just multi-dimensional Reed Richardses that all just meet up and are just chilling. And most of them have infinity gauntlets. Because some story explained that. Yeah. But there is a Council of Doom. Basically the same thing, just it's a bunch of Doctor Dooms. So they're like, hey, yeah. So they're like, hey, Doctor Doom from this Earth, you can help all of us get like super infinite power because there's this being called Eternity, who is the living embodiment of the universe. So if like we can all merge with him, we'll then be one step closer to an even greater power. You see, both of these guys are trying to get to God. It's just one's going through the Spectre and the other one's going through Eternity. So they're like, hey, we'll just use like several dozen Infinity Stones that we have. And like this Doctor Doom over here, who's like, yeah, I'm Victor Von Doom, but I don't use science at all. I use this thing I found called the Necronomicon Ex Mortis. I don't know what this does, but it has a lot of fun demons in it. So they're like,
I was thinking about putting Lovecraftian as in look at this like a Lovecraftian enemy in my thing, and the fact that you said that makes me think on some level we understand each other.
that's good. I like that.
Our souls are touching.
They really are. This is my soul touching your soul.
We're soul receiving. I'm receiving it, and then I give back. We just lost all 16 subscribers.
Awesome. Dang it. I was really hoping we get to the 16 mark soon.
Now we just have 16 again.
Yeah. So that's what we have as the threat. We have on one side that Marvel Earth Doctor Doom and Necronomicon Doctor Doom using science and deadites and whatnot to get to Eternity, while Lex, fueled by Darkseid, is going to the Spectre, both eventually trying to get to God. And then we have this small ragtag team of Marvel, DC and Ash Williams to go out and beat them up before they become God or something. And that's my pitch for a Justice League Avengers super team up. Again, there are obviously like a few one-offs here and there, but this is kind of the main thing. This is the main threat, you know.
Yeah, dude, that's pretty great. I like that they're both trying to get to God. I think that's actually works better than my complicated bullshit thing that I couldn't even write down. I just had to stick it in my head and be like, okay, this is weird. All right, it's gonna work. So if you guys remember my Justice
Actually,
League,
we got to take a commercial break because it is at like the 26-minute mark or something. So we'll be right back after these not messages. I have to put not because it's a disclaimer of sorts. So we'll see you in just a second.
I'll give you $50 for those sneakers. Ah! $50. Okay?
You can have them. They're
Okay.
terrible.
It's to prove a point. Now, you wash in detergent alone, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's wash this sneaker in detergent alone and this one in the same detergent plus Clorox bleach. Now, see any cleaning difference?
The one I wash with my detergent is just 30. The one washed with Clorox looks so clean.
Clorox Clean. People can see the difference.
And we're back. We're back here. I quickly did my pitch. So let's all settle in, get some popcorn. Austin, time for your brain blast to explode on this camera.
so
And
I will say that this would never come out in real life because you would never really have a Justice League with just one of the Trinity members. And my Avengers team would never not have an Avengers team would never probably not have Iron Man, Cap, or Thor anytime soon. Right. But in this fictitious comic book universe that we have created simultaneously, I've created a DC thing where something happened and a Marvel thing where something happened. In both of them, there were universe strange stuff that wasn't explained. Each comic lines will say happen for a year and a half. And DC, and strangely enough, because Marvel doesn't do this, but it comes out bi-monthly. So you have 24, so you have 36 issues. No, fuck it, let's just do 2 years. So you have 48 issues of each the Justice League comic and my Avengers comic. And then 49 will be the setup. And on issue 50 of both, it'll actually be like, quote unquote, the prequel to each side for the other one. So at the end, they find, so my Justice League team, the leader is Wonder Woman, strategist is Huntress, Helena Wayne, and Muscles Power Girl, they are from Earth 2. Tech, Mr. Terrific, he's worked with people from Earth 2. Rookie is Amethyst, she is Princess of Gem World, maybe not the princess, but she has a big sword. You'll notice that she's like She-Ra, but also she's also blonde one with the sword, kind of like Magic from Avengers. So, my alien is Martian Manhunter because he's just a beast. My outsider is She-Ra because she's also experiencing some universe weird stuff. My wild card is Lobo because space is boring now because everyone's like dying and disappeared and like, no one can pay him for a job if when he gets back to collect the money, they're gone or dead or sucked in by a wormhole or some stuff. So who's grabbing all these people? And like the dark multiverse, like what does that have to do with it? Because that is very important. They eventually be traveling the dark multiverse. I mean, my extra is Green Lantern, John Stewart. So eventually they find Batman and Superman traveling around the dark universe where they're kidnapped. But in episode, and comic number 50, right? So they just like got them all oh yeah, we did it. And then 50. The Batman and Superman turn out to be fake, and they were clones made by the evil Avengers team from the Marvel side. That is the secret evil people behind my whole Avengers comic. and my Avengers. So that's how they. So then eventually they go into that and they find out that this Avengers team somehow has contacted um,
Good
some
question.
evil being. Yeah,
So it's like a Dark Avengers almost, like a.
it's an Avengers from an alternate universe that are just super evil.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I'm dumb. It's like a crime syndicate.
Um, yeah, it's the crime syndicate of Avengers.
Alright.
But they had help from an external source. And so my Avengers team, my leader is Falcon, my muscle immortal is Angela, my tech is Ironheart, my rebel is Hawkeye, my magic is Magic, my outsider is Wolverine, Laura Kinney, my wild card is the superior Spider-Man, Otto Octavius in Peter Parker's body. He's a little out of time. My rookie is Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur because that's just fun. And two people that were added later are Miss America. She joins in the second or third arc, and then Moon Knight joins like just because he's fun. So they find the Avengers, or so they think. They find an Avengers from this now new like dimensional rift where you have energies and like you have like a realm that's a mix of both Marvel and DC, and people are disappearing and stuff in both universes and appearing in that one to try to keep like a universal constant. And so you find out that's where the Avengers went, and that's actually where Batman and Superman went at one point. But since it's this weird flux, they kind of don't know. Like at one point, New York just turns into Metropolis. And then it turns back into New York, and we're like, what's going on? And then you find out that some evil entity from the. I didn't really pick a DC villain because I don't know. But I picked Avengers for my Avengers villains. But they're both actually being controlled by another entity outside of the respective multiverses that is like. So this has happened before in a Marvel Avengers crossover. But there's the ones that are causing this, and one of them absolutely hates the other one, the other universe. They're like, these aren't real heroes. They keep on like, can you see like they'll reference real things where it's like, I can't believe they let Doctor Doom rewrite all of reality. Like that's so stupid and so bad. And then the other one will be like, oh yeah, well this universe like broke up, came back together, and then it broke up, it came back together again, and then it remembered that it was still the old one. Like that's so dumb and stupid. And like
Are your
when like they
gods just Marvel and DC nerds?
yes,
As gods?
yes. The true lesson, Owen, is that neither Marvel or DC is better than the other. That's the metaphor. So, so that's the inciting incident is that they find out that there's this fluctual third dimension that is existing in both, and it has like, ergo now it and it's so it's like it's affected by anything that's in that like thing. So because it's part of the DC universe, that means it's connected to the dark multiverse, and so the dark multiverse can actually technically like come into the Marvel's universe. So like technically speaking, these bad Avengers came from the DC universe, if you want to think of it that way. And so eventually bad shit happens, and like the Avengers and Batman and Superman are still like on this universe and stuff, but there's a dark evil version of Molecule Man, and he's trying to control this whole realm for himself, as is, I don't know, what's a DC villain that we could say? Darkseid. Let's make it Darkseid. Darkseid wants to control. Oh no, actually, you know what? It might be better to be Brainiac.
Yeah, I was gonna say it might be a little better if it's that.
So Brainiac wants to. So this is now a unique experience, and he wants to collect. Like he wants to essentially take over the Marvel universe now.
Yeah.
And like control and collect them and put them in little towns. So we have a Brainiac and we have an evil Molecule Man. But he only gains his powers when he's in that like weird combined dimension.
Okay.
So people have to go on and take him out. So the comics take It's bi-monthly, so it's a Justice League / Avengers book. For example, issue number 1 will have what is known as the Alpha Team, and issue number 2 will have what's known as the Omega Team. The Alpha Team has the leader Falcon, the strategist Huntress, the muscle Power Girl, the tech superior Spider-Man, the rebel Hawkeye Kate Bishop, the outsider Wolverine Laura Kinney, the alien Martian Manhunter, and the space character Green Lantern. So that's like the most, kind of like the more popular characters, essentially, or the bigger ones in the comics that we just came out. Like, you know, you have a Spider-Man and you have a Wolverine. That's the best Marvel thing representation anyone can ever get. And then we also have Martian Manhunter and Green Lantern. Those are OG Justice League members. We have Huntress and Power Girl, who are analogs for Batman and Superman. And we have Falcon, who's an analog for Captain America. And we have Hawkeye, who's also an OG Avengers member. So I basically picked this team to be my alpha team. Because one of my other pitches is that this alpha team also becomes its own book. And for maybe a year or whatever, the Marvel and DC universe are like just linked, and it's kind of easy to cross over into one or the other. And so you need a team of heroes that is ready to take, you know, any Justice League or Avengers level threat on both sides. So that's my alpha team. My Omega team, the leader is Wonder Woman, the muscle is Angela, the tech is Mr. Terrific, the outsider is She-Ra, the rebel is Lobo, and the wild card is Moon Knight. So they get less issues because they're the Omega team. But the important part I want from this is I want Wonder Woman and Angela to develop a kinship. And fucking having Lobo and Moon Knight on the same team, dude, that's crazy. If you notice, this is 4 DC, 2 Marvel. Well, the next team has 1 DC and the rest are all Marvel. This third team comes in way later, and they're the champion team because they're kind of going to be like the ones that come at the last second to save you or to save everyone. The leader is Miss America, the muscle is Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, the tech is Ironheart, the magic is Magic, and the outsider, the 1 DC character, is Amethyst. So they're going to come in at the end.
It's a young girl.
Yeah. Oh, they're all girls. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, teenage girls.
All teeny. Well, Miss America, I think, is maybe a little older now. And Moon Girl. Yeah, Moon Girl's probably a teen girl now. Magic's definitely like in her 20s. Amethyst is a teenager. Ironheart's a teenager. So you just have nice positive women.
That's gotta be embarrassing for the alpha team. Like, oh no, we need help. Oh man, we got help from a bunch of girls. This doesn't look good.
And then immediately Huntress and Power are like, what the fuck's wrong with that? And they're like, nothing. Actually, dude, you know what? I have equal amount of men and women on my alpha team. And I have 2, 3.
You do, yeah.
I do have a lot of white people though. But yeah, so eventually they defeat the bad guys, and at the last issue, you would have like, I don't know, let's say, what's a really big Marvel? You could have Kang the Conqueror, or no, you can have Dark Molecule Man fused with Brainiac, just because. And you can have the 2 outside characters do that intentionally. And then you'll have the team up. Yeah, and then you'll have the team up with the older Avengers that have been gone, Batman, Superman, and then this new Alpha, Omega, and Champion team. And yeah, that's pretty cool. So at one point, though, there is some fighting going on. Because they love to pit heroes against each other. So the heroes that fight each other are, you have Wonder Woman fights Angela, because of course. Power Girl. Okay, so it's Huntress and Power Girl. They fight Ironheart and Magic. This is just like things. I'm kind of pitching these to you. We have Mr. Terrific. He doesn't really participate. Neither does like Martian Manhunter, but Lobo fights Wolverine because yes. And also, at one point, it essentially becomes insane Moon Knight versus most people. So yeah, you have like I wanted like at least those fights to happen. But yeah, so I guess another pitch I got from this is I don't know if you call it Justice League Avengers or Avengers Justice League, but my alpha team, Falcon, Huntress, Power Girl, Superior, Spider-Man, Hawkeye, Wolverine, Martian Manhunter, Green Lantern, become like the main team for however long DC and Marvel agree to keep this crossover going on. And then I have, and the backups, I have two ideas for team up books using the team members. I couldn't really think of any more. Well, there is one I kind of like Amethyst and Magic, but I don't think you can like create a good story for that. Well, I don't think you can. I don't think I couldn't come up with one in my short brain blast. My two team up books are Wonder Woman and Angela, and I want them to explore like the problems in Mascara, or like the gods of both realms coming together. That would be one of the bigger things I see coming from this, is even like the new gods of Wonder Woman's mythos fighting, or like someone's like trying to get them to take over Asgard or something, and then Asgard is like fucked. And then I have a space team that I want that's kind of like, if you remember Justice League Odyssey was a thing that was announced.
I remember that.
It had like Azrael, which was weird, Jessica Cruz, Green Lantern, Starfire, Cyborg, I think. Might be one other important character, but then Darkseid was also on the team. So that was weird. So this is, but also like, you know, they went in space. Because, you know, they came out with Justice League, and then they came out with Justice League Dark, and then they have a Justice League for space. So my pitch for like a space Justice League / a new Avengers team is using these teams. You have Miss America, Moon Knight, Green Lantern, and Martian Manhunter. Two green boys, you have an American and a moon. There you go. And like you can add like other, like I would want them to make like the Nova Corps, want to interact with the Guardians. Yeah, my brain blast is more, you have at least a concise story in your head. Mine is just like
ideas.
Poof.
Yeah.
The main important thing that I created was the alpha team, really. That was my biggest thing that I wanted to make sure I had. I also technically have like, I put Huntress also as a leader as well as Falcon. But instead I settled on her being the strategist, but I do think she is like super number 2, like almost number 1.
1.5.
But yeah. But now if you ever wanted me to like pitch, so I think one time, let's say a year from now, we're gonna come together and I want us to pitch our like entire Marvel, like I want us to create our own, like if they say, all right, dude, we're gonna either you get a TV series, a movie franchise, animated thing franchise or whatever, or a comic book or video game thing, we get to choose. We get to take like Marvel and DC and we get to create our own, and then I eventually want us to write another crossover, but after having built the franchises up from the ground.
Catch Lucky! He's got Lucky Charms! They're magically delicious!
Oopsie! I'll make a surfboard and glide away. Always after my Lucky Charms, the frosted out cereal with marshmallow surprises. Pink hearts, yellow moons, orange stars, green clovers, and blue diamonds. Helps complete this nutritious breakfast.
Sounds delicious.
Frosted Lucky Charms!
They're magically delicious.
That certainly sounds interesting.
Right? We're super nerds.
We certainly are.
But yeah, if we ever wanted to redo these things, we should do it in a year.
All right then. Well, I'll mark you to that. Yeah, that's interesting. So I was completely wrong when I said that your thing took longer than mine, because according to this, yours was shorter than mine. Yours was short. Okay.
I just had more teams.
Yeah, you just went through it a little quicker. But yeah, if you guys understood all of that, that is our Marvel DC uh, respective crossovers. So, question of the day: would you check those out as probably comics? Because this is way too crazy. These both are way too crazy to do like animated series or even like movies. So, would you read them?
If we ever did, because I do kind of want to do, we might end up just both creating our own animated series, because those are fun.
That's possible.
Or universes. And like, dude, the crossover, I would want like a crossover like movie or something. And I would do it like, or like a couple episodes a season or something.
Yeah. I gotta say, when I was making this, just for giggles, I almost threw in the Ninja Turtles.
I was like, there's a lot of things from DC that you can like put in, but isn't that owned by IDW?
I think so, but I know like them and Batman have done like 3 crossovers.
2 or 3, yeah.
I think that I think they've done 2 already, and there's a 3rd one eventually coming out. And
Don't forget, we have
Justice 2.
Justice League. Justice League has fought TMN, or no, maybe not fought, but you know, we've DC or characters, Justice League or Batman specifically, have interacted with TMNT and the Power Rangers, which means
and Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, and Scooby-Doo, and so like, and also Marvel owns Star Wars, so
yeah,
and
I could have easily put in like, I don't know, Han Solo or something in here. That would have been a bit too crazy.
for now,
I threw in Ash Williams in here, so anything goes.
What if I wanted my alien character to be Yoda?
You can certainly do that, like a younger Yoda.
And my rebel is Mando from the Mandalorian.
Okay. I'm not complaining with you on this. But yeah, that'll be anything else to wrap up? Or is that about it for this offline? What will we be doing next now that we are off of this team making? We
after this team making arc.
Yeah. I
have no idea.
I can't really think of any lists to do because not much has come out in 2020 to talk about, or at least like the amount of a whole episode. Nice.
We can talk about
we could
keep
make
this in. Keep this in. This is raw.
Obviously, we could make another D&D character to go on with the 2 we've already made. We could.
What do we do? What do we like? So we've done D&D, we've done comics.
Yeah,
We touched on video games for a little bit.
we did.
Ooh, how about we do like top? We can do another list. All right, get ready. Top 5 video games that we would fund. Very broad, has a lot of possibilities. Let me start naming some of those possibilities. So you are a third party producer, but you have a lot of money, and you can produce essentially any video game you wanted. You want a remake of the original ET on the Atari 2600? You can produce that. You want that canceled project to come back, like Star Wars 1313? You can produce that. You want to produce a game you have in your mind where you're like, I want to do like Zelda, but instead of Zelda, I want it to be about that other guy, Link. That was a joke. You can do that. And like, if you have any concepts like, I want an RPG made by Marvel, but the main character is the friends we made along the way. Or I want, I'm not going to get into my ideas now. Haha. But yeah, let's do that. 5 video games that you could just randomly start produce. It can be a sequel to something that exists, a remake. You can revive a canceled project. You can conceptualize your own thing. Whatever it takes, man.
Whatever it takes. That's a great idea. That is indeed very broad, and that'll be very fun when we do that. So, as always, thank you guys so much.
Saying it right now, Owen. You can't do water drinking simulator because I already just thought about it.
Man, fine, but I have air breathing simulator.
Well, I just did half of the work. So.
Darn it! He's already got the concept down.
Hold X to release. Which button is that?
You have yours.
Yeah, you can go crazy too, dude. If you want to do like, I don't know. See, we don't know much. We both know we play video games. We haven't delved into like too much. We talked about. Did we do top 5 favorite video games or something?
I think the idea was thrown around, but I think we
said we just like talk about it in person.
We might have.
Oh, it was about the island.
That's right. It was our little island escapades. So, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, rambling and spreading of the nerd news and all that, click the link below to subscribe. As it says, as always, we'd love to have you as a genuine MoonTown resident. Make sure to like, and all you AJs down there, make sure to comment. And yeah, just keep supporting us. Because
remember, everyone, that I'm not done with my brain blast of pitches. Okay? In a year, I'm allowed to come back, do this all over again from the ground up. Never something.
Yeah. Thank you guys as always, and we will see you next time on MoonTown Offline.
Wait, did you drink from the cup yet?
Yeah, I've drinking from the cup several times, but hold on.
But it's the cup. Oh. Down.
I made sure we didn't miss that. This will also still be in because raw.
Oh yeah, because raw, dude. This is raw, man.
We will see you next time. Stay toasty. That's not good. Stay frosty.